Oh, that's just me with my butt in the air on live. That's cool. That's exactly what I wanted. I'm watching the playback and the lag is crazy. Anyway, what's up? We are back here again. It is Sunday. Boozy Brunch is laid to rest. Oh, that's just me
Mute.
with my butt in the air on live. So wait, can you guys hear the playback? Oh no, let me make sure. Maybe it's just me. But otherwise, Boozy Brunch is laid to rest. I'm trying to see where my patrons is at. We are doing dissections now on patreon.com twice a month, exclusive dissections. And we're only doing the Lovecraft Country finale here on Patreon. So that's quite a treat. Quite a treat, quite a treat. What's up, Khaled? I knew you was going to be in here. I think I literally, Khaled, when you signed up, I jumped for joy. I was like, oh yes, we're gonna have fun. You have such good ideas. So this is popping. This is gonna be a good time. I'm trying to see where my other babies is at. I be trying to stall out on them. They be late. Khaled, have you seen the series Watchmen? Have you watched it in full? And you already know how this works. There's such a heavy lag on this. What's up, Christian? Have y'all seen Watchmen? Y'all know what we talking about today? All right, all right, all right. Cool. Cool. So we used to do Boozy Brunch Sundays here. I'm trying to streamline the content to be Black movie focused. And so what Boozy Brunch Sundays was a kind of a talk show about the hot topics in like Black culture. So we were talking about Cardi B, we were talking about the whole Tory Lanez thing, we were talking about Jada Pinkett. And I was like, if people go to YouTube and they see me do movies and then they come for the Patreon and it's like a totally different non-movie show. I was like, I feel like that's confusing. And a lot of people came for the Black is King dissection and other exclusive dissections I had. So I was like, who am I to not give the people what they want, right? So we gonna do it. So without further stalling, I was trying to wait for more patrons, but I'm not seeing where the babies is at. So we about to get started. See, look, they trickling in now. They coming in now. Let me know if you here. Let me know if you are here. We are about to get started on Watchmen, which this pilot, I've seen it twice before, but when I dissected it, I was like, how did I miss all of this? How did I miss absolutely all of this? This is some of the most complex, layered directing and writing I have seen in a long time. Every single thing is so highly intentional, visually, story wise, stylistically, like all of it means something else. And we're going to look at every single layer today. So I'm going to need y'all help. Okay. All right. I'm going to need y'all help. So we doing this. Watchmen, the dissection, and the pilot episode is called It's Summer and We're Running Out of Ice. Callie says it felt good getting the full picture to see how much was being set up. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. So let's dive in. You guys know we always discuss our opening shot, and we begin with our two horsemen. And we see a white sheriff riding on a white horse and a black sheriff riding on a black horse. And this right here, this visual alone is our theme. It's our full theme. This is the reversal of racist expectations. So usually when we speak about white versus black, we think white is pure, good, innocent, delicate, all of that stuff, right? Which is why white people are afforded so much grace and patience, no matter what violence they put on people. Their whole world, they're always afforded that goodness, right? Because it's white versus black. Dark, mysterious, dangerous, savage, right? And so in this shot, we are already reversing those things where the white is bad and the black is good. Exactly, Khaled. And especially for this to be in 1921, like, look, okay? This white sheriff is being chased by this hooded black vigilante. So let's go on and see more of these role reversals. I thought them bringing in the white church was super powerful because there's so much meaning in a white church. Let's just start with the fact of uh, spirituality being stripped, beaten, murdered, tortured from enslaved Black people in order to receive the Bible and Christianity. Like original violence against Black and white, right? The original violence. Even if you want to bring it up today, this is where racist violence occurs from white supremacists onto Black Christians. When you want to do a race hate crime, you go to a Black church. This is what white people do to Black people. You go to a Black church and do the harm there. And in that second visual on the bottom right, we see the white sheriff with a noose around his neck. Like, just do it, like lean into it. Just lean into it, why don't you? Right? So usually when you have this heroic white man in a white suit on a white horse, you think that's the rescue, you think that's the hero, but absolutely not. This white sheriff is the villain, and this Black vigilante, this Black sheriff is the hero. And this is the theme for both the show Watchmen and America. What's up, Elle? And America. So let's meet this Black sheriff. We have Bass Reeves, the Black Marshal of Oklahoma, again, leaning into that reversal where the white churchgoers are clapping for him. A Black man just put a noose around a white man's neck, and there's applause from a white church. Where they do that at? They don't do that. They don't do that. It turns out this is just a film being watched by a boy who we later learn is Angela Abar's grandfather. And we are going to see Angela in just a little bit, but this is her grandfather. And the color changes from black and white to sepia tone when we meet this grandfather, right? So we're jumping from the past to another time period of the past, and the color is separating the two. Super old in black and white, Tulsa, 1921 in sepia tone. Still in the past, just a different moment of it. This is how you use colors. This is how you use visuals to tell a story without saying, this is what's happening, right? And we find out that this boy is watching this movie while his mother cries at the piano for the soundtrack, because right now what is happening is the Tulsa massacre. And the film that this boy is watching is portraying what will happen in this series, Watchmen, and how it's adjusted for our very much modern times, our real life. Elle says Lovecraft vibes with the Black people being heroic. Absolutely. And I love Lovecraft just like this. I think there's a lot of similarities between Watchmen and Lovecraft, where like Black women specifically are being chosen and put in heroic positions. I think that is just, it makes my belly warm. It makes me so warm inside. Callie said, I just noticed that Will, Angela's grandfather, took Bass Reeves' last name. And says the silent film in life imitates art with what will end up doing at the end of the episode to Judd. Yes, 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 yes. It becomes very, very full circle. So let's walk through it until we get back to that full circle moment. Again, Tulsa Massacre, 1921. And one of the first colors that peeps out from the sepia tone is red. Everything else is a muted color. Everything else kind of blends in one into the other. And this red is the epitome of danger, right? The white people are directly coming to this town to attack Black people. Let's lean right back into this theme, ASAP versus the what we saw in the silent film, Bass Reeves, the Black hero versus the white villain. But in their real life, these white vigilantes are the villains harming Black people. And they very literal in the colors that they wear, this white versus Black, who are really the villains and who are really the good guys. So on his way out of this town, Will, the grandfather, is put in a trunk of a carriage by his parents, trying to escape this massacre. And they're starting to shoot bullet holes into the little carriage, the little basket carriage that he's hiding in. And this shot right here means so much. When he's looking through that bullet hole, the light pouring on his face I mean, little did he know he was already wearing the mask to the superhero that he would later become. Now, we don't see this superhero until a few episodes in. But if you go back and watch the series, they planted all of these little things to where you can see the setup for later. So the fact that him just looking through that bullet hole to show what drives him to become this Black vigilante, like he saw Bass Reeves on in the theater, painting his face white to become this masked Avenger. This boy grows to become a vigilante, and if anyone knew you were Black, they would not consider you a hero. They would murder you in the street. So he pretends to be a white man. He paints white skin on to protect himself so he can protect his community. The layers. The layers. I caught you there, Callie, huh? I caught you right about there. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. This shot shook me. This shot really shook me. I was like, oh, y'all playing in my face. Y'all playing in my face. And they do this all over the series. So we're gonna point it all out. Here, the carriage is bulldozed over. He awakes, and the blood on his forehead is a nod to the Watchmen logo, as well as the letter his father put in his pocket before they separate. Watch over this boy. Yes, Caleb, we're going to get there. Absolutely. You're very much right. Absolutely. Right? This is a nod to the logo. Watch over this, the Watchmen logo, and watch over this boy. So here, before we leave this 1921 and come into the Watchmen's present day, we have this long exposure where one scene slowly fades out across another scene, and it's the same exact road leaving this danger zone, right? This long exposure over the Black boy fleeing Tulsa versus some white man driving a pickup truck. Because if we're going into the role reversals and we're going into, the flip-flap of the white and Black, in the new America, white men consider themselves the new oppressed. Racial diversity is killing white men. And we also have our Watchmen color theme. The blue and yellow start to peek out here. So we go from black and white to sepia tone to full color to let us know that we are now in present day and that we're now in Watchmen. I noticed that Watchmen logo getting referenced a lot in this episode, but we'll get into that. Absolutely. We gonna spot it. So our first audience question, all 6 of you, our first audience question. Let's dissect this. We see a white man, but we only see his eyes as he's driving this pickup truck. What do we think this all means? And we know, if we watch the series, what had happened. So what do we think this all means? I don't even know if I brushed my hair today, y'all. Is it cute? Do I look? What we think this means, y'all? Why are we starting off with a mirror shot before we even see who the hell this white man is? Who the hell is they? Khaled says maybe because all of the cops wear masks and the one that pulls him over only shows his eyes. Okay. We're seeing like a pattern is what you're seeing. We're seeing a pattern. Who else is in this room? Y'all did not say hi. Where did Christian is still here. Who the rest of my lovelies in this room? Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Elle says split in personality. He's about to lie. That's because Elle was up in them dissection workshops. Elle know what the hell's going on. Absolutely. Absolutely. We are talking masks. We are talking lies. We are talking delusions or illusions of identity. Illusions of identity. They are wearing masks. And yes, yes. And it's very ironic if white men are the new oppressed in America. It was very funny to see that this pickup driver, this pickup driver was listening to some hip hop. I think Future was playing. So what you think you the new black man? You think you the new black man now, right? So when we have the boy looking through that bullet hole, he's wearing a mask for safety. But this guy is wearing a mask for a different reason. Let's get into it. So when he first gets pulled over, he gets nervous as hell. But then he sees the cop is black and he starts to get a little spice. He starts to get a little tone in his voice, a little tone I don't like, I don't care for. Hmm. So he was nervous. If the cop wasn't black, he would have been scared, but he saw the cop was black and he eased up a little bit. What is you so cocky for? And the cop, like Caleb was saying, we're hiding our faces, we're wearing masks, we're hiding identities. So you have to think, what would the black cop have to fear? Cops have to have this oh my God, I know I can't say this word. Anonymity. Nigga, they anonymous. You cannot see who they is for their safety. Right. Callis says white people comply equals black people, the cops still die. This is what the cop has to fear. And this is what brings us to the mask of this pickup driver. Him pretending to just be a white civilian is the lie, because who he really is this Rorschach mask wearing white supremacist. So you might get a little cocky at a black person because it's white versus black. It's you against me. I don't care what badge you have. And the cop has to ask permission to use his gun to protect himself. Meanwhile, this white supremacist is loaded already up in his car. What are we doing? What are we doing? The cop with the power and the state sanctions behind him is the one that is fearing for his life. Let's reverse all the roles. Because we know in this life, in this walk in life, that's not what's happening. The cops say they fear for their lives, but we're the one in danger. That's the excuse that cops use. But here, when you have a black cop in this universe, it's for real. Cops are actually in fear for their danger. And because the cops do not have access to their guns, because he has to ask permission, but because he has to go through a whole questionnaire, the cop is actually unsafe. And this white supremacist, Rorschach wearing civilian grabs the gun he got and takes care of what he wants to take care of. Hmm. Hmm. Mm, mm, mm. So now we're going to meet our police captain, who is currently at a play with his lovely wife, watching the black version of the musical Oklahoma. And we open up with a black man who is playing the lead character named Curly. This is one of the captain's favorite plays, one of his favorite stories, and a tradition for him to watch this play every year. And take notice the space that's there, because he actually is supposed to be with Angela and Cal, who are not there. So he's sitting next to these empty seats watching this play, and we see this black man and this black cast absolutely killing it, but his enjoyment is cut short. Glass meets him with this shot cop, tells him what happened, and Glass tells the captain, like, we should call Knight about this. The Rorschachs are back, something is bubbling, this is looking familiar, we should definitely tell Knight. And the captain says no. Mm-mm. Let's get some more information before we include her. Like, why would she need to be here now? We don't really know what this is yet. Let's just take a seat, right? Elle said she would have skipped Oklahoma. Oh, Christian says, look at the space between he and his wife too. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So Glass continues here and says, okay, well, the Rorschach mask wearing pickup driver obviously didn't want whatever was in his truck to be found. But what we found at the crime scene on the cop's body was romaine lettuce. So the captain's like, why are you telling me about some goddamn lettuce? What are you gonna salad me to death? Are you gonna chop salad me to death? Is that what's gonna happen? So Glass feels stupid as hell. And we get this. So I want to ask y'all, let me jump back into the chat. Why do we think the captain would use this moment? Somebody on your force just got shot. One of your other right-hand man is telling you the information. These people are all on your team and all on your side. Why would you fix your tie in his mask and humiliate him like that? Why? Look at Glass's body language, how submissive, and like he just kind of gets like beat down a little bit, right? Using your face to fix my tie, that is so humiliating. Why do we think the captain would make this kind of decision? Callis says, I noticed in the scene that Judd was wearing a white hat, which is usually used for the hero or morally good characters. Absolutely, that is a saying. The white hat is actually a saying to encourage that label and that frame of thought that this is the good hero coming to save the day. Absolutely. But some of the shots were from behind him and through windows, meaning he might be hiding something. Let's get it. Let's get it. I feel like Looking Glass's reflective mask is a callback to him being in the House of Mirrors when the squid incident happened. House of Mirrors. Oh, I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. What do we think? Do a little countdown. Y'all ready? Y'all ready to move on? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I was about to sing Beyonce, but I don't have it in me today. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not even gonna lie. Okay. Elle forgot the question. Why would Captain use this moment to humiliate Glass? He's bringing you information. He's on your side. He wants to solve the case. Why are you humiliating him? We'll come back to it because you know I'm gonna answer the question. We're gonna come back to it. So the captain visits Roberta. She is the wife of the cop who got shot. And he goes to her house to relay the news of her husband. He's alive, but he is not doing well. And this is where he introduces himself for the first time in this episode and says, I'm Judd. He reminds her, like Caleb is saying, that police are to remain anonymous for their safety. If people know who you are, they might hunt you down and do something real dark. So for their safety, cops are to wear masks. And he encourages her to lie about the incident. We're not going to say he got shot by a Rorschach white pickup truck guy while on duty as a cop, because we don't want people to know your husband is a cop. We'll say he's going to night school, he got carjacked, and things went wrong. And she's like, why do I have to do all this lie? My husband is shot anyway. Where's the safety? Good question, Roberta. Roberta wasn't playing about this. Good question, Roberta, but the captain is warm and kind and really being human to her at this moment and just trying to get her to understand, like, it's not a perfect system, but this is what we have to best control the outcome of anti-police rhetoric in Tulsa. That's what we have. So we're going to move on because we are meeting Angela Abar and we hear her voice But before we see her, we see this image of Dr. Manhattan crushing buildings as she's explaining to a group of children how the proteins of eggs are built. And she says, when you break that wall of an egg protein, everything comes crashing down as Dr. Manhattan makes this castle fall. Mm. Mm. Then we see the eggs that Angela Abar is using to show the children what she uses to bake and how eggs work and what happened. And obviously, again, with the little blood spot in the egg yolk on the top left, this is another node to the Watchmen logo. Just to let you know where we at. I also want to bring to your attention that we still, at this point, have not seen Angela Abar. We're only hearing her voice while we're paired with these images. Callie said, them egg yolks had me shook. If you know, you know. That's very true. That's very true. Elle says Regina is the GOAT, and that she is. I want her to have all her things ASAP. ASAP. I want her to have her things sooner than later. Okay? Sooner than later. So now we finally meet Angela Abar. I'm gonna jump back in the chat. Why did we line the visuals up this way? And you guys have seen the episode, but why did we line the series? But why did we line the visuals up this way? Hearing her voice, seeing Manhattan, seeing the egg, then seeing her. We saw three visuals. We saw two visuals before we seen Angela, but we see three visuals all together while she's explaining the process of cooking with this egg. What say you? What say you? What say we? Come on, Callis. She's the next Manhattan. She had a relationship with him and he passed it down to her with the egg. And Elle says this is an introduction. It's the introduction and it's the ending at the same damn time. Where we begin is where we end, and where we end is where we begin. We talking full circle, just like that Watchmen clock. We are talking full circles. Callie got hit it right on the head. The egg is literally the bridge between Dr. Manhattan and Angela Abar. This is exactly how he transferred his powers to her. If you guys remember the season finale, after we lose Manhattan and Angela's heartbroken, she goes back to eat the egg that he gave her. And right before the scene cuts off, we have to see whether or not she can float on water, because if she's Dr. Manhattan, she could, and we didn't see it. But if you know color theory, you already know the answer. So where we begin is where we end. This is exactly why we pair these visuals from Dr. Manhattan to the egg to Angela, because it's literally the transfer of power. And so when we finally see Angela Abar, she is surrounded by blue, and in front of the map of the world, she will be the most powerful god of the universe. I love it. I love it. And Angela, we learn, is a bit inappropriate. She's very real, right? She shares with these children that she was attacked during her time as a police officer by the Rorschach gangs, shot in her belly, right? And she retired now to become a baker. So we know why police wear masks. Police are definitely under danger from the Rorschachs. And a child asks her why she's retired, and she says because she loves baking. Let's think about it. How Judd went to Roberta and said, well, this is what we're going to tell them, because we can't let people know who's who and who's police for safety. So here we have somebody who's a retired officer because she got shot by the Rorschachs a few years ago, and now she's a baker. She's also making moon cakes for the kids. Meanwhile, Adrian is stuck on one of the moons of Jupiter. Woo! This scene is right before the squid rainfall, which is caused by Adrian. Yes. Yes. He could not get off that moon at all. Let's talk about Yaya. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about that. Who is playing Dr. Manhattan minimized into human form so he can be with Angela and lay low or whatever the fuck he was doing. And Angela gets a page, beep, 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 little bighorn, which is her sign to tell Cal, I was about to call him Yaya. She gets this little bighorn beep, which is a sign to tell Cal, we're going to the bakery. He know what that means. It's a pager for danger. So we see that big red stop sign behind her. We are in danger. Something's happened. Let's get into our little bighorn. Bringing these visuals right back. The bakery is obviously a cover for her vigilante work. She's no longer police due to her attack, but she's still very much aligned with the force. She's kind of like this solo working, but she's also in there, but she's kind of not. It was very strange. And on the way to the bakery, she passes an ad for a TV show, which Khaled mentioned in the chat, the American Hero story, which we learn is the Hooded Justice. And like we saw her grandfather put on that mask back in the day, the Hooded Justice is her grandfather. But this universe understands Hooded Justice to be the white man, because remember, he's painting his face white, his hands white. So this TV show and this universe honestly believes that the Hooded Justice was a white man. So this is big TV show coming out in their world right now. So passing this ad, not even aware that her grandfather is the Hooded Justice at this point, we are talking legacy. While she's on her way to become her own vigilante, she is passing an image of her grandfather. Let's continue to talk legacy. She becomes Sister Night in the bakery, keeping all of her weapons and her costume in there, passing the Dreamland Theater, where her grandfather had to escape years ago, right? We saw the Dreamland Theater destroyed during the Tulsa Massacre. So the fact that she's passing it on the way to continue to fight for her community and fight for justice. Just like Bass Reeves riding on that black horse. She ain't got no horse, but we riding that black whip. Superintendent, what's good? Down the legacy of Bass Reeves, down the legacy of her father, Will Reeves. Right? Legacy. Layers. Legacy. Becoming Sister Night. Leaning again into that black-white theme. Reversal of what her grandfather used. Her grandfather used white paint to hide his identity. She using black paint to hide her identity. Dressing in the full black like Bass Reeves. So they both still had to hide their skin color, but she chooses black, which is for her safety. But her grandfather chose white because during that time and what he could do, it was for his safety. And of course, she is under this glowing blue light because, baby, the power's already lined up for you. You just have to step into it. Dr. Manhattan was like, oh, that's it. That's me. She ain't know it yet. We ain't know it yet, but it was already claimed. Look at that shining in that blue light. The power was already chosen for her. Let's move back into this weird ass captain. Cool fucking scene right here. Cool fucking scene right here. Yes, Khaled, I spoke about that Striking Vipers episode on, and it was a blue and yellow color theme in that too. I spoke about that on YouTube if you want to go watch it at any point of your free time. But that was one of that was a really resonant video. A lot of people like that one. I did dissect that one before it was officially like dissections. I was like, I just like talking about TV. But I definitely did do that. In this scene, the whole police force is having a meeting about the resurgence of the Rorschach white supremacist gang, and their video plays on a large screen while the police watch. Now, The captain is standing behind the screen, playing a video from the Rorschach leader, separated from his team. Why? Why? L, what is happening in this chat? They talking about some Yaya and Regina is a fine couple, but Yaya should be with Anthony Mackie from Striking Vipers. I mean, I love it, but I'm rooting for everybody. I'm rooting for everybody black. I ain't gonna lie. I would just like to also portray Yaya's love interest for personal reasons. I would love that. Oh, thank you. Okay, Khaled already saw the Striking Vipers video. Why do we have our captain standing behind the Rorschach screen versus the police on the other side? I love that y'all just be ignoring my questions. Y'all really like, so anyway, yeah, y'all don't be paying me no mind. Boom. Yes, Khaled. He's racist. He is a white supremacist. He aligns with the Rorschach and has his back against the police force. This is why he gaslights and humiliates Glass. That's your clue. That's why. Oh, you want to call Night? You want to call? You don't even need Night. That's your clue. That's why he humiliates Glass. Let me beat your ass for trying to solve this because you're about to ruin my plans. And this is why he first says his name when he introduces himself to Roberta. He announces his name for the first time when he lies. His captain's suit, his white hat is a mask. Is a mask. Yes, playing both sides. Absolutely. Again, let's lean into this reversal. Like the Sheriff's movie, the white is bad, the dark is good. But however, the police and the Rorschachs look exactly alike. What's tea? Somebody explain that to me. What's tea? And in this waking life where we at, police are the white supremacists. So this shot, this alignment between who fighting who, to us even watching TV, y'all all on the same side if you ask me. The captain being the bridge between the police force and the Rorschachs. Because he is a white supremacist, he is often surrounded by white light. And we see that again when he goes into his office meeting with Angela Abar. And when you see these two together, they're often seen at opposite sides of the room because Angela don't even know this at this point, but they have opposite values. This captain is one of her best friends, right? We're mirroring the Bass Reeves and the white sheriff. We're mirroring, the good black sheriff versus the evil white sheriff. She tells him she called a white supremacist for him to interrogate. So how did she get it when she got that big little leghorn pager about an hour ago? She already have a suspect, but you had a 20-hour advance and didn't catch nobody? And you ain't call her? He ain't catch nobody because he didn't want to catch nobody. He's not looking for anybody because that's his team. Hella stripes in the office, blurred lines, can't tell the good from the bad, throw it all away. Christian says, yes, everyone wears a mask, blended lines of good and bad. Absolutely. Absolutely. That owl cup that she's holding means something, but I forgot to research why. I don't remember. And let's look at the book where his portrait is. It says Under the Hood. We see that captain under the hood. We see that captain under the hood. And Angela says to him, I got a nose for white supremacy and he smells like bleach. Talking about the white supremacist that she captured in her trunk. Baby, you missed one. You missed one, babe. You missed one, babe. They also quickly discuss Angela not showing up to the Oklahoma play. She's like, I couldn't get a sitter. My bad. I got stuck at home. I couldn't come out to see Oklahoma with you. He was like, you missed a damn good time because that play was fire. Couldn't meet up. So we move on. Angela is going to interrogate this white supremacist that she caught. And something happens in this scene. We stay on the cop as he's the captain as he's putting his hat on, but her voice from the next scene says, cop got shot. Cop got shot. We see the captain while she says that from the next scene because he's involved. He possibly orchestrated it. He know who did it. And he hides his face. He puts his mask on. He hides his face to hide the truth of his involvement. He pretended to want to catch them with her, but he really out doing, right? Right? And after she beats that white supremacist ass, and they head out to go find where the rest of the team is at, down to the cattle ranch. And they discover that these white supremacists, this Rorschach gang, are collecting batteries to build a machine to steal the powers of Dr. Manhattan to transfer into Oklahoma's senator, who's also a white supremacist. You find that way later, not in this pilot. They leave, and the captain stays behind with the white supremacists, bleeding out. They show where he stands all day. They show where he stands all day. So a ton of fun action scenes happen. We beat some more white supremacist asses. We do a whole lot. We ride out gang. So let's bring it on home. The pilot is very thrilling. Please visit it as often as you can. The captain's home is all white. Captain Judd with the scar on his head. Again, the nod to the Watchmen logo. We find out that Angela lied about why she was unavailable to go to the Oklahoma musical with him. Turns out she just didn't want to fucking go. She with L. Angela's with L. That shit is stupid. I ain't going. She didn't even bother to tell her husband the lie. Like, okay, I told Judd that I babysit and come. She didn't even tell him about the play because she wasn't going. I like that gang shit. Elle said, look at that sugar booger. Oh, that white cocaine, that white girl. You talking about that, Elle? That white cocaine. And Judd's wife blows up the spot by saying, he didn't love that play. He hated that play. He said he hated it because their hearts weren't in it. But early in the office, you told Angela she missed out on a good ass show that you loved it. So is it Uchiwali or is it one mic, babe? What is we doing? He lied to Angela because he's racist. You know how white people don't say, I hate you because you black? They say, oh, you ain't really sing like that, or I ain't like the face you made, or you turned in this thing late, or I don't like the way she don't be smiling when she come in, or her hair is not professional, or we do all this dog whistling. What you really want to say is, I hate black people, but instead you say, oh, their hearts weren't really in it. I ain't like that. I ain't like the play. We call that dog whistling. So let's go back. Let's look back at these empty seats. Doubles as seats that Angela and Cal were supposed to be sitting in. But because he's a racist, there's a gap between him and black people. We ain't on the same side. We ain't aligned. There's a gap between him and white people because his ass is racist. And his wife continues to blow him up by saying, honestly, he hates the Oklahoma play because he used to play the lead role of Curly, not that black dude. So he used to be a star. He used to be that role. So he ain't like the play. Oh, well, let's talk about the play. Let's talk about the play and the theme and reversals and black and white and who is the new oppressed in America. Why you hate Curly, Judd? Why you hate Black Curly? We gonna get there, Khaled. Why we hate Black Curly? This is the foundation of fear and white supremacy. White men will disappear at the elevation of Black men and Black people and racial diversity and inclusion. White men are the new oppressed. Put that white hat down because there's a new sheriff in town. Why you hate his sideburns, L? He look like a rapper. And we have this Black performer in the version of Curly wearing red. Because even though white men are under the delusion that they are endangered and they're disappearing and they don't have no space in this country anymore, we know who the real endangered targets are. We know who is targeted, like that big red sign during the Tulsa massacre, Dreamland Theater. That big red stop sign behind Angela Abar. We know who's really in danger. Ain't these white sheriffs? So now we have our ticking clock. You can actually hear some ticking throughout this episode. The homage to the original Minutemen of Watchmen. That's who they were originally known as. So we have this ticking clock playing through. Oh, Khaled, great research. I just looked up the plot of Oklahoma. Apparently, Curly's rival is a man named Judd. Curly versus Judd. What now? And because Judd used to portray Curly, it's really Judd versus Judd. You versus your goddamn racism. Because what is wrong with you? Yes. 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 This ticking clock ensues, counting down to a major plan. And we see that Judd is separated from the table quickly because of his hidden agenda, leaving behind a white seat. Leaving behind a white seat. Khaled, that was great. Again, leaning into our two sheriff imagery, the good Black versus the evil white. I just like saying evil white. The good Black versus the evil white. Angela is on to the supremacist plan of why they're collecting batteries, and he takes this moment to gaslight her. Oh, Angela, what are batteries? What? That's stupid. What? What are they going to make a cancer bomb? What is that? What do you got, Angela? Yeah, right. What's up, Ellie? Yeah, right. This is exactly why he didn't call her when Glass asked down to the hospital earlier in the plot. This is exactly why. I ain't gonna call you because she's smart. She's gonna figure it out. She's gonna beat my ass. Don't bring Night up in here. Don't bring Night up in here. They all split. Captain goes back inside and watches this hot show that we saw from earlier, the American Hero Story, who they think is actually a white man. And the American Hero Story, this hooded justice, is a part of a collective of superheroes known as Minutemen, aka Watchmen. Meanwhile, that's Angela's granddaddy. You watching my legacy, because I will beat your ass. Cal says, I noticed the ticking noise begins when Judd hugs Cal, Manhattan, and ends when the commercial for American Hero Story plays. Judge ends up killed by a member of the Minutemen will. Time's up. Great observation, Khaled. Time is fucking up. Clock was ticking to his demise. And earlier, when he was in that police meeting with the Rorschach video, he says, well, look, I'm going to move sanctions and I'm going to get our guns to be available to us ASAP. I don't even care because it's my funeral. It sure is. I think I switched some stuff around. Did I? I probably did. Let's go into it. Again, in this mirror, like we saw with the white man in the pickup truck, we are looking at different identities as he steps into darkness to become whatever this thing is. How are we feeling about these lamps? How are we feeling about these lamps? How are we feeling about a picture of him and his daddy, who was also a sheriff before him? The mirror, the lamp, the photos. What are we dissecting here? What are we dissecting here? Legacy, absolutely, Christian. On both sides. Legacy on both sides. Mm. I feel like Khaled's typing. I could hear it. It's like that ticking clock, like in Watchmen. I could feel Khaled typing. There you go. His true identity is behind the hidden, but Will already knew the truth. What's in the dark will always come out in the light. I like it. I like it. I'm gonna go a little more literal with it. My throat is killing me today. It's giving. You see that reflection hitting his daddy's head a little bit? It's giving KKK. It's giving KKK. These white pointed lamps over his daddy's head. His son, Judd, sitting in his lap as his son with that badge that his daddy had walks out the door in that mirror. Yes, L, passing that racism right on down. That white hat through the badge, through the sun, through the badge to the white hat. Or white mask, excuse me, Rorschach. Rorschach gang. Racism is his legacy. That's his legacy. You, because that was his legacy, Christian. Because you was right. Racism is his legacy, but heroism is Angela's. Ooh, ooh. We found a lamp, bitch. We found another lamp. The missus. The missus. They don't have children, Khaled. But yes, it absolutely would have. The missus. Judd's pager goes off and he tells his wife, oh, it's the hospital. It's Charlie. That cop who was shot from the beginning is Charlie. He just woke up. I gotta go. We seen what happened when people get pages and they go to their job, they go to their bakery. So he about to go to the hospital. He going to the hospital. And we know by now that's a lie. So even if they on the same side, he still lies to his wife. Even though they on the same side, he lies to his wife. Angela also gets a call. Says, I know who you are. I know you're the police. Don't bring no mask. Don't bring no people. What's up? Come outside. Hands daddy a gun. The way she answered that phone. Hello. Because you call her in the middle of doing a nasty up on Yaya. Hello. That was so black. That was so black. We feel you, Miss Avar. We feel you. He was hitting something special. And you done called and ruined my damn night. Ma'am, I feel you. Someone calls her, knowing her identity. She hands the gun to Cal before she fears this is another breach of her identity and an attack because, like she told those kids in the classroom, she was attacked by the Rorschach gang, shot, her identity breached. They came into her house. So she thinks it's just another, she thinks this is it again. So what's up? We outside. The way I wouldn't have answered that phone, my granddaddy would have had to wait. His whole little display would have been ruined because the way I wouldn't have answered that phone. Callie, we're not going to dissect the shootout at the farm. Mm-mm. 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 What would you like to say about the shootout at the farm? We can talk about it. It was given hot action. I want to talk about story and color theory. But I'm here. What's up? We 4 minutes down to our dissection, our exclusive dissection. We 4 minutes down. Ooh, I hurt my neck. Looks like I need a Cal A bar. A bitch might need a Cal A bar. What's up? I was going to say that there is a poster in the RV that Angela looks at. A black boy is being apprehended by the white superhero with a poster saying they want riffraff out of their banks. A possible callback to how Black Wall Street was massacred. White capitalism is dangerous. Yes, I did see that. I skipped it because I think we got it. I think I beat y'all over the head with the black white reverse, colors and themes. So it was giving very racism, but yes, absolutely, that would be a nod to black capitalism and the intentional destruction by white supremacy. How a town full of black affluent people can make it detached from whiteness, and you still refer to us as riffraffs, and you don't want to set your banks, and we beating you in the money. Yep. Because they took y'all out in the money. Y'all said y'all got to play this game to be valuable, and we played it and won. They ain't like that. They didn't like that. But great. I just usually try to conserve what we talk about so we can get to like the good. Yes. But I like seeing white supremacists get their ass beat. I love that a lot. Last shot. Angela discovers her grandfather, Will Reeves, who was the American hero that Captain Judd was watching on TV, who was the boy in the theater who was supposed to watch over this boy. Having our roles switched, a white supremacist hung from a tree like an oppressed black person in this country. Will Reeves wearing his American hero red, but he got his black skin out this time. His black skin shows this time. And Captain Judd dies as a song from Oklahoma's play plays over his death. It's summer, and we're running out of ice for Curly's funeral. Watchmen is top 2 and it ain't 2. Watchmen is top 2 and it ain't 2. It's good. It's good. We made it, y'all. Our first exclusive dissection on Patreon. I'm excited to do these not next week, but in 2 weeks, we are doing the Lovecraft Country dissection. The season finale right here. Only right here. Now, because it comes on Sunday night and we got to wait to dissect next Sunday, we're going to have a little lag. But it's okay because that's what we're going to do. That is what we are going to do. I thank you guys for being here. Please go ahead and share the content. I'm so grateful for your support, your time, your attention, the brilliance of your minds. Thank you for being active in the chat. Thank you for being present. And tomorrow we are back with episode 9 of Lovecraft Country. Yes, we're episode 9 of Lovecraft Country. We about to beat somebody's ass. It's going down. It's going down. So on that note, I'll be back tomorrow with the Lovecraft Country episode 9, and I will see y'all on the internet. Hit me. Bye.